free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcast. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcast to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. We filed a record request with the North Las Vegas Police Department, and much to our surprise, they granted our request. Looking over the files, it's noted that Glendine called the police on April 3rd, and an officer went to Peter's home. Peter told the officer that he hadn't seen Jesse since April 2nd. Remember, Jesse's family last heard from her on March 28th. Peter said that Jesse moved out and his belongings were gone, though it's unclear if that's what he told the officer, or if they actually looked around for themselves. There isn't much detail to the report, though in the section where it lists descriptors, it states only, quote, Foster was a prostitute. Glendine mentioned earlier that they wouldn't take a missing person report until April 9th. The report written that day mentions that there was a family disturbance at Peter's address on February 28th, a month prior to when Jesse's family last heard from her. It goes on to note that Peter told officers that Jesse was a sex worker, and that he showed them her belongings were gone. The report described Peter as very cooperative. The April 10th report said that an investigator spoke to Peter, his wife, and another woman. They all said that they knew Jessie, but didn't know where she was. The report goes on to say, at this time, I am closing this case. The case can be reopened if further information and more leads become available. A report written the next day said, the missing person is an adult, and there appears to be no suspicious circumstances. Despite the fact that they had put Jesse's case on the shelf almost immediately, Glendine kept contacting the police department. She was talking to people, writing everything down, and sending it via fax, just hoping investigators would look for her daughter. On April 14th, Glendine was notified that Peter explained to her that she last called Jesse on April 3rd. She left home and brought back a prescription to her, as she was scheduled to have her wisdom teeth extracted later that day. When he returned home, Jesse was gone, and she had taken all of her belongings, except her hairdryer, some cosmetics, and a small amount of clothing. He said the dentist called later in the day. Scheduled. An April 15th fax from Glendine said, previous to all of this, there were some instances of domestic abuse. She said that this was prior to Jesse. It was Jesse for her sister Crystal, but these offenses on his record prevented him from entering Canada to meet her family. Glendine also remembered a time when Peter's wife, or estranged wife, reported to police that Jesse had stolen her car because Peter let her drive his Mercedes that was still in both of their names. Jesse called Glendine sobbing while still in handcuffs. They ended up letting her go after speaking to Peter and confirming that he had given Jesse permission to drive the vehicle. Glendine also noted that Glendine documented her discussions with Peter. She said that on April 9th, he told her that Jesse left him because he couldn't marry her so that she could stay in the U.S. Glendine felt that was odd because Jesse hadn't expressed an interest in getting married. He also told Glendine that Jesse had left her for another woman's car, either the day prior to the disappearance or the day of. Peter said the woman knew Jesse and left a threatening message stating, if that was her guy, he was her ex. Peter told Jesse's father's wife that she had a dentist appointment set for the last day he saw her, but he was unable to remember the name of the dentist. Peter claimed the dentist gave Jesse a prescription to pick up prior to the appointment, which she said she did pick up. Glendine stated that she first asked Peter to report Jesse missing, as she was in another country. Peter said that he was on his way there, and that the officer didn't want to talk to her. He hung up and then called Glendine back. This time he said that she was supposed to call her to report Jesse missing herself. Glendine sent another fax on April 16th. She had spoken to Peter once again, and he claimed he was worrying, so much so that he locked himself in his place alone all week. Glendine was attempting to confirm Peter's story about the dentist appointment and prescription. This time he said he dropped it off late Sunday night or early Monday. In previous conversations, he claimed to have dropped it off on Monday, which would have been before her appointment, and that Jesse claimed to pick her up so that she could take the medication before the procedure. He said that Jesse picked up the medication between 7 and 8 a.m. on Monday morning, and by noon she was gone, along with nearly all of her belongings. The story about the dentist and pharmacy lacked specific details that could be nailed down. There were no reports in the files we received, indicating that investigators located a dentist, a pharmacy that Jesse had been at or had an appointment with on the day Peter said he last saw her. Glendine said she inquired about Peter's neighbors. Had they seen Jesse leave? Peter said that they wouldn't have been home.
Going to the
They
bounty.
were all old. So he didn't ask any neighbors if they had witnessed Jesse pack up her possessions and leave. In the files, there's a March 2007 report that documents the search of a Honda Ridgeline. They tested for bodily fluids, but the results were negative. The reports include an email from an individual who said that Peter's wife confided in her, but there was something that always bothered her. One night, she received a call from Peter, and he told her to meet him off of Sunset Road. He was driving a black Mercedes-Benz that was covered in dirt. He had been in the desert and had a gun that belonged to a friend. She said that he was frantic and had a large amount of cash on him. She asked Peter what he was doing, and he said he was going to end his life, but realized his life insurance policy wouldn't take care of his wife and son. It was her belief that he had roughly $50,000 in cash, and he would give her about $10,000 what bothered Peter's wife about that, because she thought it was happening. Shortly after that time, she said that Peter got rid of his Mercedes somewhere in California. This tipster said she asked Peter's wife what she thought he was doing in the desert, if he was supposed to be someone. His wife said that she wasn't certain, but from her experience, he liked to choke women out and was a very violent person. She went on to say that Peter was continuously concerned with what was going on and acting paranoid. And beyond this information, her recollection was justified. We also contacted the North Las Vegas Police Department to request an interview, but unfortunately they never responded. When Jessie vanished, she was just her time and present online gave her own paths in life, each moving through their journey at their own pace. Andrea, like many others, didn't immediately learn that when the news finally reached her, it came as a complete shock.
Shortly after she had gone missing, I actually remember very clearly. My son and I had moved, and I was unpacking my boxes. I grabbed this big newspaper and I opened one of the boxes that I had, and there was Jesse's face on the newspaper. Okay. And I remember looking and like, how was Jesse in the newspaper? And then I saw the headline. It said, "Local family woman missing in Las Vegas." And I'm like, what the hell? I remember calling people. Crystal finally returned my call. Said, yeah, I was supposed to go to Vegas. We can't get a hold of Jesse. And then that's when I started seeing news interviews and stuff like that with Clancy over the next couple of years. And I've never forgotten Montel Williams commercial came on, and it was about women and Clancy. And they're like, "We've got a new friend. How much do you see? I don't know what you see in Vegas. There's Jesse's face on Montel Williams." I watched the interview with Clancy on there, and I was just like, this is real. Even though I already, at that point, I think I did too, that Jesse had been missing, but the reality of it, because I wasn't involved in it. I was her friend, but I wasn't kind of not being around it all the time and seeing it. But when Facebook came to me, all of a sudden I had all this information that I knew about it and what was happening. The reality of it started setting in.
For nearly 19 years, Glendine was touring with herself talking about none of them good. The uncertainty continues to haunt Glendine as she searches for the truth.
She's still being trafficked in Las Vegas, but she's going well. Not never had information on her. I thought, well, all that just tell us that Jesse was missing. We were talking about has went through a lot of organizations, and mainly because a lot of it was to normally have me get all that women that go more Jesse and all the and who knows? I mean, I don't know. We had one subject called Jesse that she was girls in Cartel. It seems far-fetched because we had already been told that she was talking about going to loving cocaine. So it's really weird.
Yeah, come out I got you.
Spreading the word about Jesse.
Be in a
She was
second.
determined to ensure that everyone in Las Vegas would be on the lookout. However, she knew deep down that
Target down. Good job.
and her search extended far beyond the city's limits. As she clung to hope for answers.
Keeping us safe, Agent.
people in Las Vegas know Jesse Steve. She may be a BC girl, she may be a Canadian, but she's a missing girl from Las Vegas. She's known by a lot of people. I actually saw over 4,000, almost 5,000 people on my Facebook and other platforms that all know about Jesse's case and supported people who live down there. I have this one woman who heard about Jesse's case. She was a former PI. She got her real estate license. And she called me up and she said, I would like to help any way I can. I do have the experience as a PI, but I don't have a license. But I see that you have a PI, and if he's willing, I will, as a real estate agent, take him over to the now up for sale house that Jesse had been living in as a possible buyer. They went over there and they went through the house. They didn't see anything either, but of course they didn't have equipment that would help them find anything that was hidden. They did see that there was three gowns hanging there that had been Jesse's. Peter had told us that he had picked up some stuff for her from the dry cleaners, so we just assumed that that was it. And he had moved out, took everything out, except those three gowns just hanging on a hook.
Years after Jesse's disappearance, Glendine was shocked to receive a call from an investigator who seemed genuinely interested in her daughter's case. This was unexpected and renewed her hope, offering a glimmer of possibility that someone might finally be able to help uncover the truth.
I did get a phone call a few years ago from a detective in Las Vegas, and he had told me that he was just a young officer with Jesse. He remembered her case. Well, he was a rookie, a really young fellow, and him and Jesse were born in the same year. And there was just this thing that always made him think about her case and wonder how it is. When he became a detective, he asked if he could take over Jesse's case, and he did. And there's been a few, I don't know if you want to call it tips.
What y'all doing now?
What we call it, but there's been a few things he's investigated for us, and
Bank headquarters on the
he's the
timer.
only North Las Vegas police officer that actually seemed to care, that actually literally even gave two tweets about Jesse. The original one said that he'd come down to Canada and decided to prostitute himself, and I guess this is what happens when you do that. And I'm like, really? Well, considering that her jaw was broken, I don't know how much twist she had in the matter. And this was after we knew about trafficking. I think when I talked to him about human trafficking and prostitution, and that Jesse was being forced, I had to bring it to his attention, and he said, "No, no, that doesn't happen in North Las Vegas. That only happens in Las Vegas on the Strip." And I couldn't believe it because, as we all know, it happens everywhere. Don't be telling me that it doesn't happen in North Las Vegas. This is the most ridiculous thing. I've quoted him many times, and I know that he's eaten those words because he has been written about his book and talked about his documentary. Our case is a long trafficking case, and he told himself that from the beginning. He was nothing.
While many theories about what happened to Jessie suggest she was harmed by Peter or trafficked further, there remains a possibility that she crossed paths with someone dangerous through her work. In an unexpected turn of events, following the 2023 arrest of Rex Heuermann, the suspected Long Island serial killer, investigators began to look into other locations across the country that Heuermann had visited. One of those places was Las Vegas, where he had two timeshares beginning in 2004. This new lead has raised fresh questions about the potential connection between Heuermann and Jesse's disappearance, along with other missing and murdered women in the area.
What y'all going to do? What you
It
going?
was slightly connected to a person named Neil Falls and another person named Rex Heuermann, who were both suspected of killing escorts. Rex Heuermann, the most recent one, the Long Island serial killer, and it's because he lived in Las Vegas same time that Jesse and three other women went missing. The other three were found deceased and dismembered. Their cases were similar to the
What y'all going to
women
do?
in Long Island. And Neil Falls, he was shot and killed by an escort that he was trying to kill, and she got a hold of his gun.
Okay, well,
And then when they got a hold of his, he delivered his gun. He had a
you
murder
go to
kit in
bank
his gun.
headquarters.
And then when they investigated him, he was
Oh, damn,
also
you're going to
connected
go to
to
my
Las
map.
Vegas at that same time frame where Jesse and the other four women went
Mm-mm.
missing. I have no
Oh,
idea about Neil Falls
just come to
because
my
when that
map.
happened, we still didn't have an active detective on Jesse's case
Oh, I'll give
anymore,
y'all an
and
invite then.
anyone that did work on her case didn't really
Yeah.
tell TBC. But with the Rex Heuermann one, because we had a detective, I emailed him and I asked if he heard about the connection. I was hearing from media before I even heard from him. So I said, I'm hearing from media that Rex Heuermann was in Las Vegas around Jesse's disappearance time. And he goes, I've already heard that, and I
Come to my
emailed
motherfucking map.
the
That's
Long
the
Island
idea.
police. They told me that they can't really give too much information out at this time because it was still such an active investigation. Since then, nothing else that I've heard of, so I don't really know.
Glendine has found a sense of purpose in focusing her efforts on educating others about missing persons and human trafficking. While her own pain still lingers, she's channeled her grief into advocacy, determined to raise awareness and prevent others from experiencing the same devastating loss.
They're not savvy enough yet at that tender age to know that that's his job. You have no hope in outsmarting him, outmaneuvering him, because this is what he does. They have a playbook, they have a plan, and you just caught off guard all of a sudden. I used to give talks in high schools, and I used to do a lot of collaboration with Crime Stoppers here in Kamloops, and I traveled all over Canada giving talks about missing people, human trafficking. I'm always out there spreading the word on Jesse. Any opportunity that I got, no matter where it was, in high school, giving them, letting them know that Jesse first met the people that initially recruited her when she was just out of high school, when she was still in her teens. So giving these talks to the high school kids and the organization, to me, that helped me with my coping mechanism. First of all, that was big. If I had one
Friendly
mother or
combatants
one friend
detected.
or one woman come to me and say Jesse's story made them make a different decision or something that could have happened didn't, hallelujah. I just know that no matter what has happened to Jesse, her disappearance has helped other people
Agent in need of
understand.
backup.
I can't ask for more than that. I mean, I could ask for her to be found and come home, but realistically speaking, that will only happen if it happens. But helping other people happens because you make it happen.
Many of the families we work with are burdened by an overwhelming amount of tragedy, often rooted in the unresolved grief of their loved ones disappearing. The long-term stress takes a heavy toll, and Glendine shares that this has deeply affected her own health. And tragically, Jesse's daughter Greg has passed away, and her other daughter Crystal, who was especially close with Jesse and was supposed to visit her around the time of her disappearance, has also passed, only compounding the family's heartbreak.
My oldest
Incoming
brother
hostiles
passed
detected.
away in 2021 after his
Friendly
dad's wife
combatants
passed away in
nearby.
2020. So this disappearance has basically havoc on so many people. Crystal and Dwight's death and my brother's had the repercussions of all the stress that we all went through with Jesse being missing. So I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I'm not overweight, and yet I had one heart attack. My second bypass surgery at age 66 years old. So we all believe that I'm taking the psycho psychopath and the addiction.
Andrea shares that both she and Jesse's success struggled with addiction. Deep down, Andrea believes that Jesse's disappearance, with its senseless backwards personal struggles, is casting a long shadow over her life, doing much of her healing.
I know Crystal had experienced some quite traumatic events when Jesse went missing. Crystal, we kind of had a little bit of a formula. I suffer from addiction. I'm in recovery,
Detecting
actually coming
additional
up on 5
hostile
years now.
contacts.
But at that time, when I was
Friendly
coming
control
out,
point
I was
detected.
in full active addiction, and Crystal was actually in recovery. I was using. She just took on one habit and lost it all. And I understand now why. I should have respected the sobriety at the time and all of it. But that part, I just followed on with them. It wasn't until a couple of years later when I left campus, we got a hold of each other again and started talking again. She was struggling at the time, but from college, she was still doing good, but she was
Incoming
kind of starting
hostiles
to fall through
detected.
the cracks again. Jesse was a huge part of that. She definitely, I don't want to speculate on her personal life. It destroyed her. It broke her. She didn't know what her best friend was. They were always walking together, and her father had passed away. I remember getting the phone call from her friend Jamie that Crystal had
Friendly
passed
supply
away,
drop
and I instantly went
activated.
into our messages. I realized that she had phoned me, but I didn't answer. And I, again, with what I have to add after and stuff, Crystal just wanted to be loved. She had the biggest heart. Jesse's disappearance affected Crystal, and there was no getting away from Crystal. There would never be answers until they found her.
As the years pass, mourning leads into deep faith, and the family endures one tragedy after another. Jesse's car remains parked in their family's yard, a constant painful reminder of the missing piece of their family. Glendine admitted that she couldn't bring herself to officially declare her daughter deceased, but after the loss of Jesse's father and sister, she finds herself slowly moving toward that heartbreaking reality, each step a reminder of the unrelenting grief she's carried.
I didn't bring myself to do anything with it. Around it. When we sold that house and moved, we had to have it pulled away. I felt like, how dare I? You know what? When you do things like that, you're saying you're not coming back. You can feel that way. We still were nowhere near even suggesting that she might be passed away. I mean, after her dad passed, he had always thought that she was already passed away. I would talk to Crystal about with him. Maybe I will have her declared deceased. And then I couldn't even do that. And then Crystal passed away, and now I actually say if she's in heaven, she's with her dad and her sister, and that is comforting. Whether I want her alive or not, if she's not alive, she's with her dad and her sister. Right now, I have two kids together, and if he was up there with both of them, I would feel okay with that.
In the end, Andrea believes that the key to solving the mystery of Jesse's disappearance lies with Peter and his wife. She's convinced that they hold the answers, and uncovering the truth about their involvement is essential to understanding what may have happened to Jesse.
It's a really difficult question to answer because there's one of two things that happened. One, she is no longer with us and we are looking for remains. Or two, she was put into some kind of sex thing. Neither option is good. We don't know what happened that night she went missing. I do think she was the subject of foul play. I think Peter Todd was done with her and he just needed to get rid of her because she was going to make ripples for him. Maybe she was sick of dealing with it and she stood up for herself and he thought, nope, can't have this. I think Peter Todd definitely had something to do with it from what I've read about his ex-wife and just the lifestyle that they led. I think he knows more than what he was saying. The footprint that stopped drastically right then and there. There's no explanation other than, I don't want to say it's cut and dry, but I think it is what it is. I think that they took advantage of a young girl who had stars in her eyes. Small town girl from Canada looking to see the world. Yeah, she's prime. Let's go. Take her. Our brains aren't even fully formed at that time. Previously, over the last 18 years, at the beginning, there was always the hope that she was going to come back to us. There are other things that could have happened, but me today, I live 125 kilometers from Dawson Creek in BC, and right now there is 11 unsolved murders. There's Darylyn Supernaut and her cousin went missing recently, and both of their bodies were found. There's Nicole that's still missing. There's Denny Poole who's still missing, and he's just next door. And he just did a podcast episode on Cole, seeing his mom's post about him.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Explain details through that. I really do. I still can't get rid of that. I don't have any answers. There's something there. Somebody needs to speak up. Somebody sees something and it triggers something in their brain, and I just really, really hope one day that somebody has enough empathy to give a mother some answers, to give her sister some answers. She's got nieces and nephews she's never met. It doesn't seem right. Those kids deserve to have their answers. I love how much the girl keeps her memory alive. Her nieces and nephews know her. They are not without knowledge of their Auntie Kelly. I haven't seen police reports or any of that kind of stuff on the Vegas TV about it. No one cares. They didn't care. It's Vegas. How many people live in Vegas in a day? There's another file on their desk. The private investigator that Clancy hired discovered way more than the police officers did, and it's just that disappointing. They actually stopped answering her phone calls. It's a mother missing her child. If she's going to phone you, it's because she wants to know where her child is. Come on. The way the Vegas PD has treated Jesse's case, from what I've heard, and call me biased, I also want answers. There is serious harassment there, and when it comes to missing people or anything that has to do with, let's say, the lower class of society, Jesse's not just one single girl. Jessie was a prime target, and I hate to say that, and I'm sorry, Glendy, for saying that, but she was young, She was adventurous. She wanted to experience those things. Jessie doesn't deserve to be thought. None of them do. Unfortunately, it's a part of our reality. She's not just some freaking hooker on the streets of Vegas. No, she is a young woman who was manipulated and basically put in a position where if she didn't do this, well, look what happened.
So what happened to Jessie Foster after her family last heard from her on March 28, 2006? The man her loved ones believed to be her boyfriend, Peter, claimed that he last saw her in early April, when she was due to pick up a prescription and visit the dentist. He said he returned home later that day, only to find that Jessie had left, taking nearly all of her belongings.
Still alive down here
What's
somewhere.
troubling, however, is that after reviewing the records from the investigation into Jessie's disappearance,
On the way
it
yet.
seems that little was done to find answers. The authorities spoke to Peter, his wife, and another woman, labeling Peter as cooperative. But beyond that, the investigation seemed to stall. Jessie was an adult and had the right to leave her life behind. But the circumstances surrounding her disappearance suggest something far more sinister. Jessie had been born into a world of escort work in Las Vegas, and there's strong evidence that she was trafficked by dangerous individuals. She was a young woman with so much potential, but she became trapped in something far beyond her control. Many believe that Peter knows more than there's suspicions that he may have harmed Jessie or traveled her further, possibly moving her out of the area. These possibilities are deeply unsettling. Was she the victim of foul play? Or could she still be alive, caught in the shadows? Still, last year, a chilling theory emerged after the arrest of the suspected Long Island serial killer, who had ties to Las Vegas and other prominent Jessie. This development is a through it all, Bundy continues to fight for answers and spread awareness. She's never going to give up. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Jessie Foster, please contact the North Las Vegas Police Department at 702-633-9111 or the Crime Stoppers tip line at 702-385-5555.
I went to New York in 2018, and I remember thinking, I wonder if Jessie was here. There's actually a picture of Jessie standing in Times Square, and I went and stood in that spot, and I remember thinking, this is Jessie was standing there. It was surreal. The picture of her, she's on the left side of the street facing Times Square. It's weird that you can go stand in the exact same place that somebody else was, but not know where they are.
Somebody that does not want to be brought into the spotlight, or they don't want to get
Target near you.
harder and harder to get people just to confront what they've done and be honest. I don't know how anybody could go 18 years on something, and whether Jesse's alive or not, 18 years plus, and not giving that information up. We knew for a long time where he was, but we've lost track. You know, there's some things that I have to do that wonder about him. I guess it's one day, and if it's not here on Earth, it will be later. That I know. And I just hope and pray that justice will come.
It's not something that we're going to give up on. I will continue to share. I will continue to ask questions, and I will continue to throw Peter Todd's name out there until something is found out. Or when was the last time he was interviewed? Do we have anybody working on Jesse's case right now? Is it sitting on a shelf collecting dust? Let us know, because if that's something you guys don't want to work on, then we can.
Ready, ship for brains?
That brings us to the end of episode 468. I'd like to thank Glenn and Andrea for speaking with us. Thank them to see on the show. If you like our show, you can also support the show by contributing on Patreon. Be sure to tune in next week. We'll be covering the case for the next If you like The Vanished, you can listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at wondery.com/survey.
It's me, the mean one, the green one, the Grinch, and I'm back for season 2 of this Grinch Holiday Podcast. And this holiday season, we're going big, baby. I'm talking A-list guests, B-plus comedy, and together with my crew, and back it up, Cindy Lou Who.
Hello, everyone.
I'll try to clear my name once again from the latest accusations leveled against me. Turns out somebody stole all the children of Whoville's letters to Santa, and for some reason, everybody's excited. It's a real Whoville whodunit. So join me for season 2 of Tis the Grinch Holiday Podcast when it drops on November 25th. Follow Tis the Grinch Holiday Podcast forward. Control
Hey everyone, it's Pacific, and welcome back to another episode of SCP Archives. It is almost the end of 2024, and with that comes the end of Season 7. This has been a long season. We'll do episodes out until the end of December, and then we'll be on for most of January and February, and then we'll be back with Season 8, tons of other things. But if you're interested in still getting new content while we're on hiatus, great news. You can watch new bonus episodes every month on the Patreon at patreon.com/SCP_EOD. There's also a link to our Patreon in the show notes below. So if you want more SCP while we're gone, be sure to give yourself a little Christmas gift this year and check out our Patreon. But without further ado, a quick ad break, and then this week's episode.
231. That's the average number of apps used by many companies. This leads to a lot of context and tab switching that drains employee focus and costs your company. Grammarly can help. Grammarly's AI works in over 500,000 apps and websites, making it easy for your team to write clearly and on brand without disrupting workflow. Join 70,000 teams who save an average of $5,000 per employee per year using Grammarly. Go to Grammarly.com/enterprise to learn more.
Americans are durable. We take pride in hard work and high quality. American Giant makes durable, quality clothing right here in the USA. Because what we wear reflects who we are. When you buy American Giant, you're not just wearing the best clothes money can buy. You're helping keep jobs and pride in your own backyard. Premium clothing built to last decades, like it should. Get 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with code RightHere24. Americans love using their credit cards. The most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But DC politicians want to change that with the Jared Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing you to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Warning. The Foundation database is classified. Unauthorized access will result in detainment. Within its archive, you'll find procedures, descriptions, and accounts of notorious anomalies used for data. Secure, contain, protect.
SCP-4197. Object class. Nuclear. Mission containment procedures. SCP-4197 is contained from the standard description. SCP-4197 is a 32-year-old woman with serious lips. The brain thaumaturgy, marrow, ventilation, ventilation, and operation cells. But SCP-4197 is also occupied after heart and facial respiratory system. The abdomen is void of organs and consists of 4 prehensile appendages. According to SCP-4197, this condition is related to knowledge of the settlement parts. That corroborated the photographs taken from the family home. How SCP-4197's body digests food, eliminates waste, removes toxins from the body, performs other functions better than survival of human beings is unknown. Discovery. SCP-4197 drew the nation's attention after news outlet reported that an American surgeon had single brain tumors for 12-year-old boy in Botswana. The child may be full of color in less than 2 days.
Well done.
SCP-4197 was apprehended the following week outside of the Browning, where she was dispensing mosquito netting and anti-malarial drugs to the populace. SCP-4197 surrendered without a struggle and has cooperated with Foundation inquiries, with some reluctance. According to her passport and journals, SCP-4197 has spent 4 years traveling through impoverished countries, where she's performed an unknown number of sedomantic surgeries on behalf of local populations. The following tests were conducted to judge the extent of SCP-4197's capabilities. SCP-4197 was provided with standard medical equipment, as well as the necessary materials for sedomantic rituals. Subject: D-24729. Condition: severe tendon and ligament damage related to employment in the construction restoration sectors as a civilian. Procedure conducted. SCP-4197 placed her hands on D-24729's forehead, causing him to become unconscious. She then used a scalpel to make 4 incisions on the side of the knees and interior of the elbow. SCP-4197 drew a sigil and oil paint around each site, which halted the flow of blood. Following this, SCP-4197 took several portions of bull sinew and inserted them into D-24729's wounds. After drawing a large sigil on D-24729's chest, she began to suture the incisions. Outcome: D-24729 reported immediate relief from his chronic pain. Subject: Dr. Richard Blanc. Condition present: spontaneous kidney failure and acute blood poisoning. Emergency procedure conducted due to Site 12's remoteness. Procedure conducted. SCP-4197 drew a sigil on Dr. Blanc's ankle with an appendage, using her own blood, before creating a 1 centimeter incision in the center of the sigil and placing a shallow basin beneath it. Black liquid began to seep out of the wound. After administering a blood transfusion via IV, SCP-4197 made 2 incisions above Dr. Blanc's kidneys with a scalpel. SCP-4197 then used the scalpel to carve symbols associated with the Sarkic cults into the back of her hands, crying out in pain several times. After composing itself, SCP-4197 reached into Dr. Blanc's torso and removed his kidneys with her bare hands. She then took the kidneys, which were blackened and showed severe scarring, and wrung them out over the basin. After 2 minutes, the kidneys were inserted into Dr. Blanc, and SCP-4197 sutured the wounds. Outcome: Dr. Richard Blanc experienced a full recovery with no side effects. The basin used in the surgery was found to contain a black liquid comprised of toxins usually filtered by the kidneys. SCP-4197 exhibited symptoms consistent with severe sleep deprivation and slept for the next 3 days. Subject: Captain Tobias Bell. Condition present: massive comminuted fractures in the legs and complete paralysis after the destruction of the spinal column between the C4 and L4 vertebrae in a vehicular collision. Procedure conducted. SCP-4197 engraved a 7-point star into the operating table, placing a single drop of axolotl blood in the center. She then instructed attendants to place Captain Bell on the table. SCP-4197 then ran her fingernail across Captain Bell's thighs and calves, causing the skin and muscle to strip and splay out. Over the next 2 hours, SCP-4197 reassembled the splinters of his femur, patella, tibia, and fibula with surgical tweezers, utilizing all of its appendages in the process. Once complete, SCP-4197 held a split muscle and skin together with the left thumb, licked to right
You bitch.
in the middle of the scene.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
SCP-4197 repeated this process with Captain Bell's spinal column.
Fuckers.
With an additional measures
Man down.
to nerves and blood vessels. Captain Device Bell was reinstated after being to SCP-4197 conclusion of procedure and remained in that state for 5 days. 4197-02. Following interviews conducted by Dr. Marcus Turner immediately after SCP-4197 recovered from his surgery on Dr. Richard Barry. Begin log.
4197. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, Dr. Turner. I'm not really interested in small talk. I already know what you're going to ask, so go for it.
Grants. You
For flesh crafter? Yes. No. Not really. I can do Malka rituals, but I'm not a practitioner. Why? Is that important or something? Sorry. Sorry.
Fuck, I'm gonna take it.
I didn't mean to sound like
Now.
Thanks for managing them, by the way.
So, are you a Marxist?
In any official capacity, I'm not really very political.
How did you learn?
My craft is medicine. I'm a surgeon by trade. But I learned Sanamancy from a crisis, if that answers your question.
System restored.
Not really. The beer statement was rich. Sarcasm.
It was a family friend. She started teaching me when I was like 6. Maybe she thought something.
Damn. Who the fuck shot me? God damn.
Signs 0.
Who the fuck shot me?
Hostile control point nearby.
Those.
Yes. You already found my baby pictures. Why keep asking?
Because it. Never mind. Look, the car system singled you out at a young age for training. Why aren't you a practicing member or a member of her company? Advisors for help.
I am a member of the company, that
Friendly
is.
combatants detected.
Kinda. I know you have these blanket generalizations of what a Nalka is, but we're not all monsters. Not all of us delight in murder and cannibalism. There are a lot of us like me, young Nalka, who want to do something to fix the world. We have this incredible power, the ability to reshape living matter, and we just squander it.
How would you use it?
Like I have been. For the past 4 years, I've used Beer's family fortune and my flesh crafting to make a positive difference in the world.
And that's the issue. Your Sarkic rituals put the world at risk of knowing about the supernatural, the anomalous, the paranormal. If you just used the fortune, nothing would have happened.
No amount of money can pull a tumor out of somebody's heart and offer a 100%
Friendly
survival
control point
guarantee.
nearby.
The first thing they tell you in med school is that you're going to lose people. I know sarcasm is like the dark side of the force to you people, but if it means I can save lives, so be it.
The morality of Sadamancy isn't the Foundation's concern. We're worried about the disruption of normalcy.
Why do you get to be the arbiters of what's considered normal? I'm never going to leave here, am I?
Log. Interview log 4197-03. The following interview is conducted by Dr. Marcus Turner. Begin log.
You're not allowed to call me that, are you? I'm not in crisis.
You really care for yourself? Will you leave your bed? Testing.
Hostiles detected.
Morality and normalcy.
Where you
I think
coming?
I can change your mind.
Come on.
Okay. I dislike that. Every single person you did surgery, you changed so many lives.
I know. I was there. That was the entire point of my work.
You were downstream, trying to filter out toxic waste.
I'm not following.
No, Dr. Blunt.
Hostile control point
The man who's getting
identified.
into your care. We're such in a soft slope. Working on a one and done malaria
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Well, Sicko. But I don't understand.
You're at the source now. If you want, you keep the people.
Are you trying to sell me a medical version of true fat economic?
Play with his kids.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Opioids. After 8 life, disaster claims and restoration. When he gets out in 14 months, he can go back to doing that.
Why should I trust you? Who's to say I won't use my powers while you're working from the outside?
God, I really hate that.
Yeah, it's not creepy to say.
Look, much harder scale. Truly wish that it's up to me. We don't always get what we want. Sometimes we get an awful hand. It's our job to make it so. So, do you really want to stay for role?
I need some time to think about it. This is just too much all at once.
Of course.
And long.
Hey everyone, Pacific here with a quick ad break and a reminder. For just $5 a month, you can get access to ad-free episodes on our Patreon at patreon.com/SCP_POD. There's also a link to our Patreon in the show notes below. Up next, a quick message from our sponsors.
Looking for a pickup truck to get just about anything done? Look no further. The Chevy Silverado EV isn't just the most powerful Silverado ever, with next-level towing capability and technology. It also offers game-changing versatility with the available multi-flex mid-gate and tailgate, which means Silverado EV helps you carry large, bulky, and powerful-shaped items up to nearly 11 feet in length. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit Chevrolet.com to learn more.
Our legal studies program can set you up for a variety of careers. As a paralegal, doing legal support in a law office, in a government office, you can do civil, you can do criminal.
That's Carolyn S. Johnson, Esquire, Program Director for Stevenson University Online's Bachelor's Program in Legal Studies, approved by the ABA for Legal Studies Education. Get started today at online.stevenson.edu/legal. Paralegals may not provide legal services directly to the public, except as permitted by law. Students must take at least 9 semester credits for the courses through 7 semester. Politicians want to choose that with important martial credit bill. This formats critical legal skills for our process.
motherfucker wet.
Alright, thanks so much for listening. And now, back to this week's episode. Continuing SCP-4197 Nuclear Winning Video Log Transcript. Personnel breached the King's perimeter and entered the Navy site. Log. Four Foundation security personnel take cover in the intersection of corridor, exchanging fire with unseen assailants. Stay around place the locking mechanism of SCP-4197 itself before breaking the safe. Two of the security team hit. Before they can reach the bulkhead doors, five deputies are shield patrolling and shooting down the movement and call past the bodies and exiting the area. 1 minute passes, and an SCP-4197 after looking around, she notices the following soldiers. SCP-4197 back into a room. Foundation issues surgical kit down the third pouch. Four appendages emerge from SCP-4197 kit and pouch from her hands. SCP-4197 triages the security personnel and begins operating on their injuries.
Yeah, man, I say to that. Ain't that a bitch?
She stabilizes two more personnel before footsteps are heard. SCP-4197 withdraws its appendages. Two of the armed men come into view, carrying a Foundation crate between them. They set it down and point handguns at SCP-4197.
I'm a doctor. Please, just let me.
The intruder shoots one of the recovering guards in the head. SCP-4197 flinches. SCP-4197 backs towards the door to her cell, pursued by the intruders. As she reaches the door, she attacks with her appendages, wrapping them around her enemy's waist and neck. She lifts them off the ground and throws them into the cell before pulling the door closed. The lock is compromised, so she draws a symbol on the door's surface with the blood coating her hands. The tendrils snake up to hold the barrier in place. SCP-4197 regains her composure and checks on downed security personnel. After making sure their vitals are within an acceptable range, she opens the empty cell next to her own with a key card from one of the bodies and drags the three surviving men inside before closing the door. SCP-4197 grabs a kit and pouch off the door and uses SCP-4197 saved the lives of 56 Foundation staff members, as well as providing aid to numerous others. Overall, 4197 personnel killed. SCP-4197 interviewed without some
Sorry for whatever made you hate people like me, but I can't change the past. I'll give you some slack for what you did during the breach, but I'm not as trusting as certain. Did he tell you anything? No, but I checked over your file, and I have to agree with you. I hate it. Do you want my honest opinion? Yeah? Yes? You weren't made for this life. You're a rich girl who proves 400 magical missionary trip. I'm like a priest whenever you heard gunfire. I'm sure. Your share of death will help us. The breach? Incidents like that can happen. And that was really
Assistance needed.
No, I haven't. I still see what's been in the garden.
Then why do you agree with Dr. Turner? You clearly don't think I can handle this.
Because you're exactly what it is. I know Dr. Turner. I feel a picture of working with the foundation.
5 more.
Somebody like you could be
Okay? If I say yes, does everything get better for me? Do people accept me?
Hostile detected.
I imagine from everyone. We all know already. Bad blood is the foundation that we some people like it. Have a messy history. I expect people to start
So my choice is lightning prisoner or Goliath doctor.
I'm not trying to just giving it.
Anything else I should know?
Well, you're going to get it.
Why? In a good way, right? What was that? I don't really have a choice. Well, I'm not talking about that. I mean orally. When Dr. Turner talked to me about it, he made it sound like I'd be a glorified nurse. And I should preach. And what you told me, I know it's what you told me. I didn't want to accept the offer before. Now I know I have to. You have to. I can't just sit on the sidelines when people die. I have to do something. For everything I stand for is enough. How?
When you're still open, try to escape from the confusion.
I need 2 more.
SCP-4197 systematic procedure. It will function as deemed for functions survival. Due to this
1 more.
targeted to 12-bit record loads in SCP-4197's pending recognition.
There you go. That's it right there.
This week's episode was possible thanks to our patrons. Joining us
Aw, come on.
Keaton Harris, Zach Abbott, Lynn Release, Chris Wesley,
That's not it either. Oh, come on, man.
Sticky Jr., Lane Hutchinson,
That's not it.
Jackson, and Rand. Thanks for listening, guys. We can wait without SCP Archive.